Hey, it's Al back again with another quick tip. Whenever you're trying to shear wood, it's not the easiest thing in the world to do. The first thing we came up with was the blade, chisel type blade. And you can see, because it's beveled on one side, you're only going to get a square cut on one side. And as marked on the table, you can see where it says square side and off-cut side. A straight cut, you can take a nice small piece of wood, which this is a 3x4, O scale 3x4. Perfectly square cut. We can go to the extreme, we can go to 45 degrees, keeping in mind that the square cut is on the left-hand side. The other side is not square and it would have to be trimmed. We can make a beautiful miter joint. We go into some larger material. These are 6x10s, I believe. O scale 6x10s. Going back to our square cut again, although it's across the grain, we'll make a nice square cut. Where we run into problems, and any carpenters out there will know, when you're trying to cut a miter on a table saw, it's a very difficult thing to do because the action of the blade, the imbalance in the forces, wants to make the wood move. If you were to cut a piece of wood partway along, you'll get an imbalance, you'll get a hook or an angle on the cut. So this is where the slicer technology comes in. Cut it a little long and slice about 1/8 of an inch off. That will square up the cut to the point that you can get a beautiful miter joint. We can do both ends. Again, just slicing off a little bit. And we can make a perfect miter. Flip it over, and it's the same on the other side. Hence the name, the slicer technology. Now, just to put it through its paces, let's take a little bit more substantial piece of wood. 1/4 by 3/8. Pretty much the limit. On a straight cut, we can get pretty much a perfect cut. The angle, again, we go to the extreme, we go to 45 degrees for the extreme. Slice. Pretty nice. We'll do the other end. We'll slice that little bit off. And perfect. Sometimes, depending on the wood, you can get a little bit different grain, a little bit of hardness in the wood. And if it's not 100% accurate, there's this other handy tool you can use, and literally just a couple of turns. This only applies on the bigger stuff. You can make a perfect joint. There's all kinds of other neat little tricks, but we have another video that you can take a look at that will cover all the uses of the slicer.